In today's video, we are doing a bit of a showcase of Sprocket's new update, and also, well, actually, mainly more about this vehicle and how it kind of deals with the new update stuff. So it's kind of a bit of a, update showcase slash vehicle showcase. So it's going to be a bit more everywhere if everyone's fine with that, but let's get into it. So this is the Kampfpanzer 50, it's a 1950s, an early 1950s super heavy tank. Yes, that is as ridiculous as it sounds. And, yeah. This thing is a bit nonsense. Like, for example, we got a 16-cylinder engine with 5.0 liter displacement. As well as that, we got a total capacity of 4,118 liters of fuel. Yeah. Yeah. Also, if anyone's interested, please calculate that, because I am kind of curious what the refueling cost of this thing would be from, like, 0 to full. But anyways, we got that, then we got this absolute insane transmission. That just barely fits in here. So does the driver. And if we were to look here, you'll see how thick the armor is. Well, if I were to do that, it's a 260 millimeter steel plate. Going from there to here, and here it's a 200 millimeter steel plate, as you can see. And, I mean, here it's 150, basically kind of the general stuff you'd expect from a super heavy tank. And then, yeah, we also have the fact that, here is 350 absolute insane thicknesses of armor. Like, if we were to just, like, look around this thing with this, you'll see that, like, that's that thick. And, yeah, it gets quite nuts. Yes, it's a bit thin on the sides and rear, but, I mean, that's because it's not quite a full super heavy, I guess you could say. Just more of, like, a high heavy tank, like, low super heavy kind of deal. Or, I guess more like a low super heavy, if that makes any sense. The gun is a 150 millimeter cannon, and it requires a crane to load, apparently. Holy god. That is insane. With a 2-ton counterweight, yep. And see it fire is, like this. Yeah, this thing has enough weight behind it for that gun not to do anything. Also, is it just me, or is, like, this thing slightly tilted? Because I swear that I'm guessing the suspension's having a bit of trouble. Which is not surprising, since there is, like, multiple tons worth of steel and shit at the front. Compared to the rear, which only just has an engine and some bits of armor. And also, not to mention the over 4,000 liters of fuel. So yeah, there's that. There's also the fact that this thing is, yes, 11 meters long. Or, well, if we were to go off of what the track says, words, it is, the track is, apparently that long. I wouldn't quite believe that. Requires apparently 1,289 kilonewtons to brake force to stop this thing, which is not surprising as it weighs 161 tons and it has quite the powertrain to push this thing along. And also, yes, there is 5 dudes just in the turret and 1 driver. Because, like, yeah, we got the loader who's right here, the commander who's here, which is, he's not really a commander yet because we don't have the role for that yet. Then we got the turret traverse dude. Yes, there's dudes just for the turret traverse and lane drive. Because there's just that much space in here. We then have the gunner, who's right there. Who I like to imagine is probably sitting on his own seat, just like the other dude to the other side of him. Just like how this guy is probably standing on some kind of platform. So he's actually able to, do his stuff. Oh, whoops. Though I'd probably put him up a bit more now I think about it. Yeah. Got all that. There's about, a lot of ammo. Let's see, there's like... so that's 28 plus 8. So, oh god. That's... oh boy. Yeah, screw it. I'm not going to bother try calculating that at the moment, because instead I'm going to be focusing more on, messing around with this thing. Yes, there is, if anyone's noticed, 4 bits of exhaust. Got all that covered. Now we get to the driving. This is where it kind of gets a bit special. Reverse is, I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good for its weight. Turning in place is not the best at all. It's more along the lines of what this thing would probably be more like in real life if this was a real life vehicle, except probably even slower. Let's be honest. Getting a bit of a teaser of the drive. Turn a bit so I get a more open stretch of flat area to drive around. So that's like, let's say that's good. And now we move forwards, as this thing has quite the ability to drive. Let's see, yeah, 9, and then 10th gear. Yes, this thing has 10 gears. Just so it can somehow manage to go up to 50 kilometers per hour, even though it weighs 160 tons. Now, as you can tell, this vehicle is still unfinished. I still haven't, done all the stuff yet. Because, yeah, like for example, I haven't even added a driver's hatch yet. Because I forgot to do that. Oh well. Yeah. That's a bit of that. Oh, and also now here we go into the actual, some miniature review, some of the stuff that's in the new update. Like, for example, yes, you can actually see what in the world's in here, like how, for example, I crammed all of this in here, like some absolute madman. Like, for example, I managed to fit this, like, literally the biggest engine you can make in this game right in the back here. Like, right in between 2 bits of fuel. Well, 4 bits of fuel, technically. And, yeah, I managed to fit all of that in here while having this drive shaft go underneath the turret basket all the way up to here, where it then hooks up to both transmissions, which then it further has another drive shaft going up to this junction here that then goes to this sprocket. Yeah, it's a lot. And more than likely it probably wouldn't work in real life, I imagine, unless it actually does. I don't know. Someone who knows actual full-on proper mechanical engineering, tell me if it would work or not. Because I am genuinely curious. Yeah, I mean, there's also the fact that there's ammo they can place, crew members, fuel, as you can see, all that stuff. You can make a guy hold a steering wheel, which is apparently called an ammo rack. I don't know why it's called an ammo rack. Hold on. That's the crew, dude. Okay, never mind. Must have been some weird stuff. Originally, before I beefed up this transmission, I had like ammo behind the transmission, which honestly would kind of make sense. But yeah, nothing in the description and all that. Yeah, basically to show you just a little bit, I'll just kind of skim through this. Got crew positions, hatches, equipment, which is basically just all the decorative stuff. Stowage for your stowage pieces, cupolas. You know, got all this. Gotten a new urban thing, urban canyon apparently, along with the, you know, stuff from before. Yes, I have some really weird custom stuff, don't ask why. Got some of this, got a gunner sight, rack, cannon, mantlet, or, yeah, just apparently just squared. An ahistorical mantlet. Yep, whatever. Got in this here, we got the, you know, giant fuel barrel. And then we also have the massive fuel box. Got all the exhausts. Got these. You know, tracks. Got this. Fenders here. That's just for the track section itself. Then you can just select this stuff. You know, same stuff except for, you know, got segments here for here. Pretty much the same thing except you got basically all the other stuff here. Got this here, all this. In fact, I'm also just gonna really quickly do the stuff here like that. So then we got that. Shut it off a bit. Suspension, there's currently only torsion bar, because that's what the dev actually placed in so far, because this is still an alpha build. Got the wheels, you know, same thing in the other wheels. Got the mounts, which is basically the same thing, and all that. So far, pretty much, you know, the same. Got this stuff, like for example, delete, extrude, flip, create hole. For example, for create hole, what that does is that basically just like makes a hole in your hull, kind of like that. I'll just get rid of that. You know, delete obviously makes a hole, and now it's actually also mirrored on both sides. I'll just undo that. Extrude basically just, you know, does that. I'll undo that. Just double check I did. Yep, I did. Flip. You know, you can flip which side is which. As you can see, already showed you hole. Got the stuff that you can do where you can manually change the position of things. Got points, edges, and as you saw, surfaces. All that. You know, Oh, and there's also well, which is basically just merge from from before the alpha build of the update and all that. Well, actually, there was a small update before this video before the recording of this video, where it basically made it so it kind of changed how these worked. Like, for example, before this cannon breach would be so wide these two guys would probably be halfway in it. But now it's currently just this, and I think what they're planning to do is make it so there's, like, there's, like, different objects that kind of are added onto here, instead of making it so the actual breach itself just gets massive, which I think is actually a better idea. Also, just gonna move the gun a bit for balancing sake. There you go. Yes, I probably missed some things, but I mean, this is just kind of a short showcase, not really showing everything. But I think I showed a good chunk of stuff. But, yeah, see you guys in the next video, whenever that is. I was kind of trying to do another video before this, for today's upload, but the audio quality was awful. Not sure about this video, haven't checked it yet. But anyways, see you guys in the next video, whenever that is. Bye.